My name is Josh Sauls. I will be in residency in the Hires Theater with Creative Greensboro from April 8th through May 5th. So for more information, visit intunegso.org. Intune provides music lessons for people who want to learn music but may not have the financial means to study. You know, I was in that predicament when I was growing up, so I know what that's like. And so we provide music lessons to people who may or may not be able to afford them, basically giving them a round kind of concept of music and understanding. So an hour of Intune's music lessons depends on where the person is. Like some people have already learned how to read music and they just need that extra push. And so an hour depends on where they are in their music reading or music understanding. Now we do start people from scratch. If you haven't taken lessons before, we can't start you from the beginning. But typically it just depends. It's tailored to the person. It's tailored to the individual. Most babies come out crying. I was able to hit a C4 perfectly, and then that's when my parents knew that I had the gift. No, but on a serious note, I did start when I was about 7. My dad would be out of town because he would be on set. He was a set decorator for different films in Wilmington. And so he would leave his keyboard at home during the times that he would go away. And I would just sit there and tinker on the keys. And I loved just like how music sounded. And it wasn't until middle school that I really discovered that I really love music. And so I really wanted to take piano lessons, even though I kind of played by ear before. And so I took about 3 months of piano lessons and my parents told me we couldn't afford them anymore. And so because I was so music driven, I would like literally skip my lunch in middle school and high school just to go to the chorus teachers and learn what I could from them as far as how to read, how to like count my rhythms, and how to like be able to know what the notes are, because they told me in order to go to college for music, you have to already know how to read music, and I didn't want to be hindered by that. And so during that time, I saw a lot of people who were like me, who could play, and they played wonderfully. Like one of my best friends right now, he still plays, not as far as reading music, but he, plays by ear. And so for him, it was a challenge in school being able to play the songs he needed to for his chorus without being able to read music. Like, so what we did is I would pair it with him sometimes, and I would play the song and he would hear it, we would pick it up from there. And that's where it really drove me to understand that I really like teaching music as well. And so, even just being around here, seeing different people who have a gift, right, to be able to play music, whether it's guitar, bass, keyboard, whatever that might be, sometimes they can't read music and that can be a hindrance. So I decided to open my doors and start an organization called Intune to be able to bridge that gap for people who want to be able to read music or understand it in a different way. How can I put this? Let me think about that. So our Mezzo Forte production, right? What we've done is we've already tailored or we've already structured what we're going to perform. And so then my job is to go back and look at the students where they are and figure out ways to strategize to get them to this level. And so it's a building zone for them as well. So it takes them from being a student to being able to practice, to being able to perform and make a production out of it. And so that's what Mezzo Forte is about. And this is just the first Mezzo Forte because we're going to have other ones too, but yeah. Without the residency, we wouldn't have a place to perform Mezzo Forte. We wouldn't have a place to practice our Mezzo Forte and get everybody that we need to have in the same space to be able to do this. And our residency allows us not just like scheduled days, but weeks after weeks after weeks, because some people's schedules are different. A lot of musicians work a 9 to 5. And so because of that, they can't come on certain days. But with our residency, we're allowed to go, okay, all right, you can't make it this day, but hey, this day is available. What about this day? And we're able to maneuver around. Without the residency, we couldn't do that, so. What you're going to see when you come to our production is live music. A lot of people have gotten away with that. And don't get me wrong, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, all that sounds great, right? But you can't get that vibe with live music. Without live music, you won't be able to experience the whole texture of the song or texture of the music. And speaking of, even with Mezzo Forte, right? There's so many songs that are played in the radio. And there's so many songs that people don't hear because they're not playing the mainstream. It's written in music. So without organizations like Intune Incorporated, you wouldn't hear those things if it wasn't for organizations who teach people how to read music, how to actually add their seasoning, their salt and pepper, their paprika, and all that good stuff to actually make the song sound good. And so that's another big thing about Mezzo Forte, our production. Right now, we're more so focused on the vibe of the music. And the great thing about Mezzo Forte is we're not specifically tailored to one style of music. We're doing different styles. And there may be songs you guys have heard before, but they're arranged differently, so they're different arrangements. Like, for instance, Don't Get Around Much Anymore, there's so many different arrangements of that one. Or Hit Me With a Hot Note, or even Saturday Night Fish Fry, which was one of my favorites. So that's gonna be the shindig. My favorite. It's a classical piece. It's called Liebes Lied.